to Retired and Inspired. First of all, excuse this hairy heifer behind me. Believe it or not, I used to have hair like that once, a long time ago though. What is this? Well, it's a channel about a meaningful, positive life after retirement, while sharing any wisdom I've got with the next generation. Retirement isn't the end of the journey, it's the beginning of a new chapter, really. Here I'm hoping to share life lessons, motivation, reflections gained through the years of experience. The channel will also feature honest conversations aimed at helping younger people find guidance, direction and inspiration as they navigate their lives. Whether you're retired, approaching retirement or simply looking for real life advice and perspective, then this channel is going to be about staying positive, which I truly believe in, purposeful and inspired at every stage of your life. So I'm hoping I will join a community and you will join a community that believes experience matters and that wisdom is meant to be shared. What am I going to be discussing on these videos? Well, I'm just going to simply talk to you. I'm not going to do any editing at all. If there's any bloopers on here, well, you're welcome to them. But I'm going to speak on how our lives change with retirement. All sorts of things change, from your health, everything else. And how we spend our time in retirement. Obviously, we've got a lot more time on our hands now in retirement. So what do we all do with our time? Do we spend less time on things, more time on things? Do we drop certain things from our daily routines? Do we increase other things? I'll also be asking Generation Z if they're less fortunate than the baby boomer generation. Do they feel they are? Do they feel we've had advantages? I hear them talking about saying, well, pensioners get all the benefits nowadays, without realising that we've obviously paid in for these benefits over the years. Obviously, I do feel sorry for our grandchildren nowadays and children, in that I feel we had a lot better life growing up when we were younger. There was no, obviously, iPhones and technology like we're using now. But we did have other things. We read books and enjoyed books. We walked a lot more. We socialised a lot more. A lot of socialising is done nowadays on the phones, and half the time they don't even speak. It's mainly text, and text can be taken a lot of different ways. You can read into a lot of text the wrong kind of thing, which doesn't help with social interaction. I'll also be speaking about our diets in retirement and how it's changed from when we were younger, or even in middle age, in fact, because I think our digestive system slows down as we get older, and I want to talk about that and what types of things we should be eating, should not be eating, and also any healthy eating, because we have a lot of highly processed foods nowadays, and a lot of the goodness has gone out of them. So what do? Keep on eating the highly processed food? Is it doing us any good? I think we do need to look at as much healthy eating as we can. Obviously nowadays though, you've got to think of the cost of food. Natural food sources, they come a lot dearer than obviously the highly processed foods. And people have a sort of a high tempo side of life nowadays, where they're on the go all the time, they're working. Us in retirement, we can have more time to sort out our food intake, whereas people who are not retired, well, they have to food on the go, fast food basically. Just put my glasses back on, we're nearly falling off then. Now then, do we need dietary supplements? That's another thing that comes into it. As we age, are we getting the benefits from the actual food that we had years ago, or does it? Do we not get the benefit from it? Basically, now do we need dietary supplements? What kind of supplements are beneficial to those in retirement? Maybe some people are affected in different ways, so we might look into that. How to keep fit, not just in your body, in your mind as well. How do people keep their mind active in retirement? Do they take up hobbies? Do they take up crosswords? There's all sorts of different things that people can do. I think it's very important to keep your mind active, because if you just sit down all day and just don't do anything, just watch the television, I think you'll just veg away, basically. Now then, how much exercise do we need? Do we need a lot more, a lot less? Obviously, that depends on your state of your health. You know, are you active? Do you have any health problems? So we'll look into that, and what types of exercise is good for the elderly, and what types to avoid. And then I think we'll go on to another subject now of what are the perks of being retired. I know in the UK, I don't know about the USA, but in the UK you get your bus pass from pensionable age. So there are some benefits. And obviously you get your old age pension. I don't know how this ties in other countries, whether they get reasonable pensions. I don't think our pension is very high up the scale of pensions throughout the world. But anyway, we'll be discussing that. And do we get enough pension? I think Generation Z say we shouldn't be getting as much pension, and a lot more money should be putting into the youth of today. So we'll be discussing that. How family life changes after retirement. It can change in a lot of ways, because obviously you're relating now with your children, your grandchildren, you have more time on your hands. I know mine certainly changed in a relationship, because our daughter's constantly on the phone and Dad, can you just come and fix this? Can you just come and look at this? You know, and I might be doing something myself, and she could probably even do it herself, but Dad's on the end of the phone now, so we do get roped in for all sorts of jobs. I'm not saying we don't like it, we do, we love it, because we obviously look after our sons and our daughters. Do our priorities change in life? Yes, I think they do. We'll be discussing that, because our priorities now in life. It's obviously changed to some degree from our employment and our aims and our goals. Now our priorities have changed altogether. I think one of the most important aims in life now is looking after our health. But when we were younger, we didn't think of our health as much. But so obviously our priorities have changed in some respects. How our financial priorities change, because when we're younger, it's usually get your money, spend it, we don't save it as much. How does that affect us once we've got into retirement? Do we look at keeping money for a rainy day still? Do we spend and, you know, hopefully live our last lives in enjoyment? Are we still frugal with our money? Do we need to look at our shopping, our groceries and things like that? Do we have a tighter budget when we're older? Or do we just think, well, you know, to hell with it, we just spend whatever we want, we've earned it over the years, you know what I mean? How did your past employment shape the way you decided you want to live in your retirement? I've had numerous jobs over the years. I've been in the Royal Navy, where I was once, I'll put my naval hat on now, I was once a naval radio operator. My first ship was HMS Ark Royal. My last posting in the Royal Navy was the submarine HMS Repulse. So I'll be talking about how retirement has affected people regarding their past employment. Has it gave them any tips for their retirement? Has it led them into retirement? Have they learnt a lot from their employment to take into retirement? As I say, I've had numerous occupations. I was a naval radio operator from the age of 16 years for about 9 years. But then I was a policeman also for 9 years. So I'm going to speak on how that's impacted my life and what I've learned from it, which I can take into future retirement. My last occupation was in the funeral industry. So I'll be asking questions about how people handle grief in retirement, or in general, basically. So I can bring obviously anything I've learned from that industry into the conversation. The best hobbies that people can have in retirement. What is the most important thing in retirement? In retirement, I think personally it's your health, but people might have other views on that. I'd like to discuss also how our retirement differs from other countries like the USA. The state benefits, the pensionable age. Are we comparable with other countries, or are we down the bottom of the pile? We just don't know. I'll look into that in some depth. Why our tolerances to cold temperatures change. Now this is one I find quite funny, so to speak, because I remember my mother-in-law. We used to go into her house before she passed away. She passed away a few years ago now, quite a few years ago, in fact. Used to go into her house and I used to say, "Mother, what are you doing? The heat is so hot. The house, it's roasting. You know, you have to strip down to your t-shirt basically. You know, even in winter, whatever." It was so hot in her house, and she always used to say to me, "You just wait till you get older. You just wait till you get older. You'll find it'll be the same." Well, I have to admit, it's true. I do feel the cold a great deal nowadays, and I'll go into the reasons why we do when we're older. Do ex-forces retirees have a better grounding that sets them up for future retirement? I don't know really. I think I learnt a lot from the forces. Common sense, comradeship, all sorts of things really. How to work as a team. I saw a great deal of things in my travels as well. You know, I saw the high society life, if you will. I saw the sleazy side of life on travelling. So I think I learnt a lot from that over the years, and I can introduce that into some conversations if we do learn things from our past experience that we can take into retirement. Now then, things that don't bother me anymore now that I'm retired. There is quite a lot of things now. I don't take things to heart as much. If anybody has a go at me, then I just sit back, take a breath, and you know, why should we bother? Don't take things to heart. That's what I say. But there's a lot of things we can discuss on that in that scenario. The last thing I'll be wanting to speak about is, well, there'll be even more things, but one of the things I've thought about is humour. Now, humour plays a massive part in my life. I've always thought my glass is half full, so I think political correctness has stifled a lot of comedy. I mean, my daughter and my grandchildren are always saying, "Oh, not another dad joke, you know, Dad," or Granddad or Dad. And but I think it brings a lightness into the family situation, and they always comment on it. You know, I'm always picking on different words and different meanings for words and things. And I'll say, "No, not again, Dad," you know. But I think deep down they do love it. Anyway, thanks for stopping by. I can't wait to share my retirement road with you all. What I would like you to do is please hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss my journey through retirement and speaking to yourselves about your own retirement. Thank you, and I'll speak to you shortly.